I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and major launch today from LibertySwap. So we're going to be covering that with Pulse, instant trading on Ethereum to PulseChain, PulseChain to Ethereum. This is really exciting stuff, guys. It's really, really cool. So we're going to get into that. Also, that means there's going to be more fees for LibertySwap to pump the Peacock ecosystem, and of course PulseChain as well. So it's really exciting. And we've got the next phase next Saturday, isn't it? Next Saturday, next weekend, for the expansion to Ethereum and PDI, which is another major leg there. Ethereum, I think, are particularly going to be very popular as well. Yeah, really, really exciting there. The other big thing, of course, we got PulseChain Stats has launched a multi-chain portfolio tracker, which is looking like it's really good. So we're going to touch on that too later on. A lot of people ask, where's a good portfolio tracker? We've got quite a few around, but this looks like it will be really, really useful. Also offering a lot of privacy and things like that. So pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat there. We're going to get into the markets, of course, look at where crypto is at. Bitcoin, we're going to deep dive, have a look at the Bitcoin dominance, get into the performance of Bitcoin so far. We're going to cover Ethereum. And then, of course, we're going to get into, PulseChain, and, of course, the special announcement from President Trump regarding a big check dividend to those in the United States, which is pretty exciting. We've got lots to talk about today, and so I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe and, of course, follow on X, and that's the link there. If you're on X at the moment, just take a moment to hit the repost button. It really helps a lot there, and if you want to put any likes or comments additionally, that'd be cool too. Get out there. Sharing is caring, as they say. All right, so let's get into it. Without further ado, let's jump over to the crypto market and see how we've been going. Now, obviously, it's Monday here in New Zealand, 11 o'clock in the morning, and that means it's still Sunday in the US. So we've actually had a decent little day on a quiet little Sunday, right? So I think that's pretty neat. Crypto Dan says portfolio tracker is going to be handy. I currently use GoPulse for that. Yeah, I think so, Crypto Dan. I think it's going to be really, really good. So absolutely, a lot of people do ask about that. So and multi-chain too. Pretty neat. All right, so let's get straight into the crypto markets. And we can see at the moment we've got the market cap at 3.62 trillion, so we're up 2.5%. Still a very small market cap, but we're on the move up, so that's good. Bitcoin, of course, making a partial little recovery there, up 2.1% to $104,388. We're going to zoom in on that later. Ethereum there at number 2 is up 5%, so a real nice strong move there to $3,576. We've got XRP at the moment up 2.2% at $2.33. Number 5 is BNB. It's flat at the moment, but it's almost at $1,000 again, $996. Solana is number 6, up 4.5%, $165 almost. And then number 9 is Tron, down actually 0.1% at 29 cents. And then number 10 is Doge. That is up 2.4%, just below 18 cents right now. So those are our top 10. Best performer is Ethereum, essentially is the best performer at 5.2% on 24-hour. Best performer in the last week, let's see, is still Tron. It's only down 1.5%, but not having much of a movement today with the old Tron. Looking at the best performer in the last week, I'll actually just go 24 hours. Let's see if that works. Yeah, 24 hours. Monero is the best performer, up 18%. Uniswap number 2, 11%. Pump Fund up 9.7%. Litecoin up 9.4%. And Zcash wrapping out our top 5, 7.9%. Best performer over the last week in the top 100 is Internet Computer Money, up 91%. Filecoin up 74%. Zcash up 62%. Nair Protocol up 37%. And Monero there up 22%. Those are our top 5 performers. Looks like we had 7 tokens in the top 100 perform over 10% for the week. That's where we are. In terms of top 1,000, we got Spring Stakes Sue is up 243% there. Decree as well, up 46%, and Google Fund up 32%. Those are our top 1,000 performers there. And trending is Zcash, Firo, and Litecoin. So those are pretty much a summary of the major crypto stuff at the moment. Let's zoom in though on Bitcoin and have a look at that. So Bitcoin here on Coinbase is the reference we're using, and we are looking still pretty good. We zoom in here with the 50-day moving average is at $101,000, and we're currently at 104,452. So we managed to kind of bounce off that, which is pretty neat on the weekly chart, which is pretty exciting. Currently, the 200-day moving average is at 65,680 on the weekly. So if we quick look at the daily, break that down a little bit more, and let's see if that renders. Question mark. Well, that's not seem to rendering. Seems to be stuck in the matrix. So, oh look, I saw a black cat just walk past, or another black cat walk past. I don't know, whatever the thing is. All right, so let's go to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance at the moment is pretty dominant. So we're still up at 59.86%, and the 50-day moving average is currently at 60%. So that's kind of where we are right now. We had obviously had Bitcoin dominance running up all the way from let's argue from December 22, running all the way up there during essentially the bear market there, dominance going up to around about 66%, and has come down recently from that peak. I guess when's that peak? June this year, coming down to September the 8th and getting down to about 57%. We kind of rallied back up to this line here of 50-day moving average, 50-week moving averages, I should say. And that is currently, as I say, at 60%. So the question is, are we about to crash from there and get this altcoin season, this big orange move, this green move here, just like we saw back in 2021 bull market, right? We've got the Bitcoin dominance drops and we have altcoin season. So that's what we're looking forward to, is altcoin season there. Now I've got a similar angle here, obviously on the weekly. That would take us, through to sort of third quarter of 26, and I think most people are pretty hyper bullish about 26 for a number of reasons. We've got the rate cut cycle, the end of quantitative tightening, so quantitative easing begins. We've got all the investment that Trump's been doing, the 21 trillion plus everything else in the economy, all the tax bills, 100% expensing, all that sort of stuff. Playing out into 2026 with all the production and improvements in income from all that. So all that sort of stuff, trade deals, the whole lot, the whole golden America being built out next year. Realizing a lot of the fruit from stuff built this year. So the 2026 looking like it's going to be absolutely insane. Now we have a couple of short-term issues. I'm not sure what's happened with the Supreme Court and the tariffs. I think it may have be associated with this $2,000 check, because obviously that's where the money's coming from. And then secondly, we got the video on the 19th, so we want to see good performance there from the video on the 19th, because that's leading the whole AI boom. And then we got the interest rate cuts on the 10th of December. I think those are the kind of three key catalysts moving forward. And of course, the government shutdown is there too, right? So I guess it's four things. And so let's see how that all goes. And here we are at 60% right now on Bitcoin dominance. So bring on the altcoin season. Let's look at the performance right now. So at the moment, we're still down 4.7% for November. We were negative 3.69%, funny enough, 3.69 in October. And we're still negative for November. Now, obviously, November, it's only the 9th or 10th, depending where you are in the world. So we've still got 2/3 of the month to go for November to turn green. And that would be pretty nice. So we can lead into December for a really big green month, maybe a 45% gainer in December. Let's see how we go there. We got Blair in the house there. Good morning, Blair. Hi all. We got Hex Down Under as well. Morning, bro. Good to see you, Hex Down Under. Big shout out. And we got Hog in the house as well. Good morning, legends. Good morning, legends indeed. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now on the performance. Oh, we got Craig Pitts sneaking in as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Great bunch of people there. All right, so that's kind of where we are on the returns right now. Let's jump over to Ethereum. Obviously, tomorrow we should expect to see new disclosure for the strategic ETH reserves. We'll be pretty interested to see in the next couple of months, not only Bitmine immersion, but some of the other strategic ETH reserves, starting to buy up some Ethereum. The other thing that we're also seeing from Trump is that we're expecting a new monetary order, and also to be, I think, highly linked in with crypto. So we're probably going to get some pretty interesting policy, I think, coming out from the White House eventually on that, pretty closely, actually. Was expected in November, I think. So keep your tabs on that. We may see some of that fruit come forward, and that may include, the government's altcoin stockpile strategy, Bitcoin acquisitions using a budget neutral approach, and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how that all plays out. We know they're working on that into the end of this year. They want all that be in place. Part of the strategy, of course, will also to be deal with the huge public debt in the United States, about 38 trillion, and they want to deal with that in a number of ways. And obviously, they've been focused on reducing the budget deficit to GDP. I think it's gone below 6% to about 5.7, 5.8% right now. So it's continuing to be fruitful there. So yeah, pretty much hitting it out of the park. So that's where we are right now with Ethereum. Let's have a look. We're going to get rid of the overlays, and we've got the yellow line, which is the 50-day EMA. That's at $3,355. 200-day is at $25.75 in terms of Ethereum price, and we're currently at $35.75 right now. So we're above both of those. So that's pretty cool. We did manage to close the weekly. I don't know if it shows here very well. Let me expand that out a little bit. We did close, well, so far the weekly, we did obviously pierce through the 50-day, but we've bounced right above it. So a nice close for the weekly. We're pretty good there. Let's see if we can actually pull up the daily on this one. Yeah, that's rendering. So yeah, we did pop below. We were coming back here for a little on the daily, a little death cross, but we'll probably avoid that, just like we looks almost like we did another time. Actually, we crossed dead cross. We had a death cross back here, but I suggest to you we'll probably just dip and then move to the upside. I don't think we're really going to cross here for the death cross, and to do that we need obviously green candles to push us up here, which I'm expecting. So that's kind of where we are right now on the old Ethereum, and that's going to move us, I guess, into President Trump's news, right? President Trump. Let's go have a look at that. So the Blaze posted here, President Trump says at least $2,000 dividend will be paid to Americans using tariff revenue. People that are against tariffs are fools. Fools, I tell you. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. So inflation's around 3%, right? Hasn't really shown up. Most of the policies that Trump's doing is he's doing supply expansion. So the Democrats don't hardly ever do supply expansions, which is the big problem with a lot of their policies. And so he's doing a supply and demand play, which his economists are way smarter, right? Because they care about the people they want to do well. Whereas the Democrat economists and all those people, they're all nuts. They're all completely selfish, narcissistic. So we've got two different worlds, guys. That's as simple as that. And most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. 401ks at the highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt, 37 trillion. Record investment in the US plants and factories going up all over the place. Remember, 21 trillion, guys, is what he's raised so far for the end of the year. Remember, under Biden for 4 years, they had hardly even got to $1 trillion dollars in investment. So here we are. It's just two different worlds. And one world cares about the people. The other world cares about control and power and oppressing the people. And we're getting the benefit of the golden age of America. It really is truly amazing. So a dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone there. So high earners, sorry guys, I'm gonna miss out, but that will be paid to everybody there. I guess if you're registered with the IRS. All right, so that's pretty cool news there. So yeah, that was pretty much it around the news as far as I could see. I still don't know what's happened with the Supreme Court stuff, where that's at. Let me just have a quick check. Sometimes it's a bit hard to always find out on while you're live streaming. All right, let's quickly see what that's coming up as. Good to see Wookie in the house, by the way. Wookie is alive. Wookie is live. Just lol. Nice to see the Bitcoin back over 103K mark. Yeah, that's a very key mark there that Wookie's been talking about. I'm very excited to see that. So apparently, currently, I don't know, this is a little bit out of date, but I don't think there's been a ruling yet on the tariffs from the Supreme Court. Hence why Trump's putting out that post is where we are right there. This is obviously very fundamental because I think they've raised about $400 to $500 billion, maybe $400 billion, which is about half the the budget deficit, excluding military. But US budget deficit is about 2 trillion, and 1 trillion of that is debt. Can you believe it? And of course, part of the budget that they have. So there's, I think, for about 5.3 trillion in revenue, but about 7.3 trillion in expenses. So there's running a 2 trillion deficit. It's insane. That's why the public debt got so high to 37 trillion. Started running away, particularly under the Biden era. It really was starting to run away there. So yeah, it's they're trying to deal with that. Obviously, they are dealing with the trade deficit, which was about 1 trillion, 1.1 trillion, dealing with the federal budget deficit, which was about 2 trillion, and then dealing with the public debt, which is about 38 trillion. So those are the three big issues, and the Democrats are just blowing all those issues out, and the Trump is reining them all in, and this is going to be huge. It's going to be really, really good. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now on that, and let's get into PulseChain, because PulseChain is green, but it's only slightly green, guys. Only slightly green. We have not heard anything from Richard regarding Approve X. However, Shillgates, congratulations to him, an influence in the PulseChain community, did win the logo for Approve X. So 10,000 buckaroos, about 350 million pulse, was sent to his wallet. He showed receipts. And he's going to be, I think he's buying up a little bit of Peacock. I think he's going to be donating a little bit to some social causes out there. So that's pretty nice. So congratulations to Shillgates there. And he went for, he was pretty much on par with the brief, which was to have a shield and, PulseChain colors up and to the right, shaded. And what else did he have in there? Something else, Provex, I think it was, something like that. So congratulations to him. It seemed to hit the mark. What else? What else we got going here? I think that's it. So let's get into PulseChain, guys, and see where we are right this, because we've got some great news today, right? Day 912. We've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0298 is up 1.6%. PulseX at the moment is quadruple 0192. That is up 0.5%. Not showing green yet, but it's up 0.5%. And Ink token $1.12 is up 4%. And then PEX is flat at 67 hundredths of a penny, or 3/4 of a cent. EHEX at the moment 17 hundredths of a penny, which is up slightly from yesterday. And so the combined price EX and PX is just below 84 hundredths of a penny right now. The buy and burn for PulseX 8.04% based on GoPulse numbers. Let's go to the validators, and we've got 52,621 validators. So with the dip in Pulse, even with the exiting of validators, we have seen people pick up Pulse and go into validating over the last week. So that's been kind of cool. The gas prices, we've got 380,000 beats. That's pretty what we've seen for the last 10 days, with one or two exceptions. That is 0.4 of a penny for a PulseX swap. The bridge is up today. I think 92.8 million. What was it yesterday? 91 something maybe. So 92.8. So it looks like it's up, and EHEX is up slightly too, right? So that helps a lot there. But the ETH has actually climbed. We're at 6,400 ETH, so that's gone up for sure. We've got a bit of work to do around DAI and USDC, I think, but USD Tether has been going up as well. So ETH and USD Tether have been going up. DAI and USDC need a bit of love. Well, we're going to get more ETH, I guess, with the next week, because LibertySwap's going to be launching their third phase of the November roadmap, which is pretty cool. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So that is the old GoPulse. Shall we get PulseChain stats up? Let's do that. And let's have a look at the bridge. Let's have a look at the bridge stats. It's UTC time, so I think we're just before that, right? Just before the snapshot. So we may not have much of an update there. But we'll keep this open anyway, because we're going to look at the portfolio, right? I think that's what we're looking at. So where's the bridge stats here? Daily inflows. All right, so we got a positive, guys. So 51K, $51,000. Not huge, but at least it's positive. Everyone happy with that? It's a tough crowd. Come on, guys. Right. I knew you guys would come to the party. Jokes aside. All right, we're going to leave that open, though, and we'll come back to that. And let's go back to the markets. So the markets right now, where are we up to? So $10.3 million. Pretty low volume, but it is a weekend still, Sunday in the US. But we have had, a bit more greener candles. So it hasn't been a flat or down day, so to speak. Well, it's a little bit flat on the Richard cores, but I mean, they're up slightly green. We had a new one called Yonk launch 2 hours ago. Now, obviously, I'm not endorsing any of these. We get pump tires launching all the time, and I cover the top 100 essentially. But this is based on the little meme that Richard posted out as well about him going through the toilet or the bidet or whatever. And so that's called Yonk. There we go. Everyone loves to play on the words or memes of Richard Art, and Yonk is on the latest one they're moving. ProvX, one of the ProvXs anyway. Is this the one that's going to survive? I don't know. Are any of them going to survive? You let me know. But once the actual token comes out, I'm sure it's a death knell. It's a death knell. 271% at the moment. It's been around for 23 hours. 128k market cap. Grimace been around for 5 days. That obviously donated some of their coins to Peacock. To LibertySwap. That's been around 5 days, up 140%. Let's have a quick look at Grimace. And it's probably pretty volatile, is it? It's coming off the bottom, so it had a big sell-off, and now it's having a big run. There we go. On low volume, relatively. The volume's not low, actually. 77k. It's doing pretty well. 146 market cap. So it is what it is, as they say. All right, so we've got the other ProvX here, another one at 95%. Mr. Jeet. That's another phrase I saw on the market. I can't remember the background, but Mr. Jeet there is as well. That's up 50%. It's been around for 3 hours. So yeah, a few new pump tires there. P Tiger. Now P Tiger, of course, backed by the influencer. I don't know if is it going to his account? I think it is. It's a Crypto Tiger God, right? So he's a ex-influencer, and he's been doing a lot of video contents. He shoots guns and does good little video vlogs. Is around there. Yeah, he burnt 100 million tokens at the waffle shop or something. Mr. Waffle, is that what it's called in America? Where is it? I'm going to go back to it because I thought it was kind of cool video. But he does a lot of cool videos there. I'm not sure what the fudge there is going on, but is it too far back? I thought it couldn't be that far back. He was at the Waffle House, I think. Was it the Waffle House? I think it was the Waffle House. I'm going to try and find it because we've come this far. I bet we won't find it, even though it should be obvious, right? It should be obvious. I don't know, but he's got lots of guns, and I can't find the Waffle video. But he burnt 100 million tokens, and he paired up with stuff with the LibertySwap. So it's kind of cool to see that. So anyway, the price on the old P Tiger is at 1900 a penny. So the chart's actually looking pretty good. The chart's looking pretty good there. I'm not sure what the RSI is at, but that is looking pretty good. So well done to him. Well done to him. Not easy always launching a token, especially when you're an influencer out there. And of course, it got LP tied into Peacock as well. We've got DevC out there. It's up 16%. We've got Liquid Loans at the moment up 7.4%. And they've been doing a lot of conferences in Asia, and I think they're going to Europe as well. So crypto crazy out there. Let's have a look at the price of that. And this is Ted the Pulse. So the price not looking too hot. And obviously, with the sacrifice set of around about $50 to $52 million, people just there's 111k liquidity in the pair. It's had a lot of criticism about that. On the other hand, they're going around doing conferences, so maybe every conference they do, if they do 50 conferences, it's like $1 million a conference. It's a fair deal. It's a fair deal. All right, so that's pretty much where they're at. But they are doing a good job. They're doing a good job promoting that. But there is a lot of criticism about liquidity and other things like that. So maybe they could put a few $1 million to pump the chart. Maybe that would be kind of cool. Maybe they might do it later on. Who knows? Maybe they might do it. We'll see. We'll see. That's true for any of the sacrifices, right? 9mm, Mintra. I did see a post out there from Gerardo around Mintra talking about how he had some issues with some of the co-founders. So I'm not sure what happened to all the money that was raised. I think it was 11 million, wasn't it? 11 million. And I think it was 16 million from 9inch. I think 9inch was 16 million. So, there's a bit of money out there. Once it's gone, it's gone. So that's the rule. Toughen up, they say. Toughen up. You see all the different opinions on X, right? It's like some guys like, you sacrificed it. It's gone forever. Just it's not your money. Not your money. Others like, oh, where's the money? Where's the money? Why is the chart looking like crap? Why's the liquidity only like 100k? And you got all that sort of stuff going on. Anyway, that's a bit of fun today. All right, so we've got Pepe at the moment, been around for 9 months, up 7%. We've got Shadow been around for 1 month, up 7% there as well. Unity having a little bit of a counterintuitive move at the moment, up 6%. And Unity is getting pretty close into wave 3. So Unity there on the back of Pulse and PulseX, but it's been interesting. We're on day 84, so we're coming up to the third phase, which is only 5 days away, and that's when we move into day 89. It's when the first mints come out, so that's pretty interesting. But let's have a look at the stats, because they're pretty interesting stats too. The burned Unity, what's the liquid at the moment? Liquid is 8.8%, so it's only 65,000 coins. So that's probably the reason why it's getting pumped there at the moment. So we probably should have a deeper dive into that. Let's have a look at the yields. We've got 283% on creating, and we've got 2,200% on staking. And so if we go back to staking, how much is that? So staked Unity, pretty high, 37. So are we seeing something different happening here with staking than we're seeing on Ethereum, where there's a lot of liquid on Ethereum? So maybe it's just due to the PulseChain community is used to staking a lot, right, with Hex and other things. So that's an interesting. Let me know in the chat there if you guys have heard anything. Maybe Cryptographics done a breakdown of that. But if we go to Taurus, we've got a lot of liquid, right? Now, obviously, we're ahead, 39 days ahead in terms of volume coming out. So it's very different. We've got 3.2 million in volume. Are we going to see the same thing over on Unity? I think it's going to be a lot lower. I think we're going to have a lot more staking on Unity. I really do, than Taurus. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now the price at the moment is 8 cents. So Taurus is not really moving in price. Of course, Titanx is, I think, underperforming a bit down too. Even it's obviously down at the bottom, but it's even underperforming there. Everyone's waiting for Jake Sharp, to open up the burn, but I don't think he's going to open it up until ETH pumps. He knows where ETH is going, so I just don't see that happening. We are waiting for his protocol as well for the burning of Titanx as well via the multi-chain version. I've just forgotten the name of it right now, but that's kind of where we are. All right, so Unity holding up pretty well, actually, 23.6 cents. We're expecting that to go down, pretty similar down to where Taurus is, kind of in that zone. We only got a couple of days to go. We've got a lot more volume coming out, so we'll see what happens there. But I think it's going to hold up slightly better as what to look. But you only need one big account to sell it down. So that's the other side of it, right? So got to be cautious with that comment. Got Reserve Treasury Bill there, up 5.8%. RSI oversold, up 5% there, and then the rest of them. Let's jump down here a little bit further. Teddy Bear, 4.5%. I did see somebody's comment about James Maria saying, are they LibertySwap? They LibSwap. I don't know about that. LibertySwap has a very different vibe about it. The communicator just seems to communicate differently. You can kind of tell, but like a fingerprint. But it just seems a lot more. I don't know how to say it. This is a lot different. I'm just going to leave it there. All right, so we've got time dividend number 24 is up 3.3% for Internet Money. And, of course, I was super stoked when we saw Matt Wallace there pumping the old Internet Money wallet. We now have one of the biggest influencers on X, with 2.3 million followers promoting Internet Money wallet to some degree. We'll see how often, but that, of course, also affects PulseChain, new users of the PulseChain. So that was pretty positive. Tetra Oracle up 3%. We are waiting for Tetra and Signum to launch. Signum will be our second Oracle and a full-fledged Oracle, and we're waiting for that too. Love.io up 3% there. Zendog tied in with Peacock as well, up 2.6%. We've got SolidX right now waiting for the staking pools and also X game expansions with marketing and potentially a second game as well, up 2.5%, and multi-chain expansion there a bit more as well, up 2.5%. At the moment, Vouch, number one validator, up 2.5% as well. Let's have a quick look at this. Had a little bit of sell-off, didn't it? Yeah, it did. And it's just finding its legs around this price. Seems to like Quadruple Zero 3,700. So it's pretty cool. What else have we got? So we've got any small little gains today. Small little gains, but it is a Sunday/Monday. We'll call it a Sunday because, it gets down under time. Doesn't really matter too much. We've got Pump Tires at the moment up 2.2%. So just a little bit of moves here. We got Peacock course, which we're going to talk about, up almost 2%. Market not really moving. It's moving to the upside, I think, but it's not really as aggressive as someone might see with the pricing. People aren't pricing in the expansion very well. But of course, we needed a good retrace, right? So as I talked about, we need a good pump and a retrace, a pump and a retrace, a pump and a retrace, and we need to have that, going zigzagging all the way up, right? So just remember that when it has a rally, it's going to have a little pullback there. When I say little, I mean decent pullback, and up it goes, right? So I mean you can do the pullback like this first one. The pullback was like 33%. The second pullback here, or ignore this little one here, but the second big one was this one here, and I guess you could argue back to the spike was 45 or 40% there. So I mean I think you can reasonably expect a 30-40% pullback. The last one, of course, we rallied all the way up. I mean, we had a big rally. I mean, think about, we had a little bit of pullback on the way, but think of how big that rally was. Rally was pretty big, and we went up 213%. So you're going to have people take profits in there, right? They just made a 3x inside like 17 days. So you got to expect people to make a profit on that. Now, if this didn't have a business behind it, in other words, it didn't have what LibertySwap was, it's expanding business, then man, it could retrace heaps, like 90%, right? 95% on a 3x. So just you've got to get a bit more awareness about how charts pull back there. RSIs are definitely helpful, and moving averages and things like that. Now the last one did a pullback so far. I mean, it went down to 43%, currently down 36%. So pretty similar to the last one that we had back here. But it does need the ebbs and flows and push to the upside. Now, and the fact that it's holding kind of these 40% pullbacks is that it's got revenue that's got earning from the bridge and the swapping fees, and it's expanding that. Think of about like products, expanding its products, and is getting more customers at the same time. So it's making more revenue additionally. It's adding more revenue there, and it's definitely doing the big ones, right? So that's kind of where we are with the old Peacock right now. So we're going to keep a eye on that, and we should reasonably expect the market to slowly just start repricing the Peacock there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And a good thing to add in is a bit of an RSI. So let's do that right now, and we'll get into the news around Peacock. But that's the daily right now. So we're down, bouncing off around about the 51 mark on the RSI. So that should be a reasonable place. And if this pullback here, we bounced off, slightly higher. I mean, we're 54, but kind of in the same zone. And this pullback here, we were definitely around about the 50, 51. So we're there on that pullback. Even we did go to 45, but we've kind of got good support here. And you do want it to breathe a little bit, right? You do want it to breathe. 4 hourly. So look at 4 hourly there. Yeah, we're turning up on the 4 hourly. The 36 looks like we've got a bit of a turn up there. So reasonably expect maybe we can, with the new product launch. So let's talk about that. LibertySwap with the big product launch there. Now, good morning, friends. PulseChain friends. That's you guys. What the heck? We got Vinny in the house there. Hello all. Go Peacock. That's pretty good. You deserve a magical pencil for that. So good morning, friends. Our protocol is upgrading to enable pulse routing between Ethereum and PulseChain. Yeah, boy. I think that's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. You guys didn't expect the horn, but the horn game. Our protocol is upgrading to enable pulse routing between Ethereum and PulseChain. This upgrade will allow instant trading. It's basically as close to instant trading, right? No longer do you have to wait to pass through the bridge or this or that. You can you don't have to go into other tokens as well, using some other bridge types, and you don't have to wait. That sort of thing. So it's pretty cool, and it's pretty much instant and pulse across both networks, expanding PulseChain's liquidity utility on Ethereum. Now, it's not just about the instant trading, but it's also about the volume that you can pass through, right? So I'm not because Pulse LN that's pretty fast, right? They do on-chain swaps, but they have I think that's subject to liquidity requirements as well. So this one here is going to be dealing with that, much bigger, volumes. In other words, much bigger players, more players, and therefore more fees. That's the idea. And this will be super useful. It also gives, I think a bit more use case to Pulse even on Ethereum too. So it'll be interesting to see everyone picks that little, beacon of light up, because now that you can just pass through from Ethereum to PulseChain with the old Pulse, That'd be pretty interesting to see what people do there. This upgrade will allow instant trading of Pulse across both networks, expanding PulseChain's liquidity utility on Ethereum. And this is, I always describe this as the Stargate to other chains. Also, fattening up liquidity on other chains, having a bigger presence on other chains, access to new liquidity, new people. Just making PulseChain far more accessible and expanding that reach. And it's a bit, but it is a bit like domination, multi-chain domination. It certainly begins with this sort of move. So kind of like that. And people on ETHChain can, leverage this if they so choose, and that would certainly accelerate the expansion even more. So you'll keep a lookout for that. Right now, traders have already established a Uniswap V3 liquidity pool for Pulse with about 6 billion Pulse in liquidity, while roughly 53 billion Pulse remain on Ethereum for various purposes. How about that? Woohoo! So lots of fighting power there going on there with the team. So 7 hours, we've just added 1.2 billion Pulse as the first step. The plan to add a total of around 10 billion Pulse to support this route. So that's pretty cool. A few final preparations on the way before go live there. So that was pretty neat from the team. They showed a little bit of an example. Every small transaction adds up. Once the liquidity flows back to PulseChain, we're going to have a lot of fun. Obviously, they have got a product coming up in addition to everything else on PulseChain, dragging liquidity over to PulseChain. They're making it so easy for that to happen. But remember, they've got coming up. They've got I think it's Peacock staking coming up, where people will be able to earn meme coins, right? Which is pretty awesome. Now, we've seen over the weeks that we've seen a lot more pump tires and meme coins basically pair up with Peacock. So that's been a pretty interesting avenue. So we're keeping a tab on that. So this was they earned a fee, 2,328 Pulse they earned on this fee, and that was from Ethereum to PulseChain. So we're just wanting to see heaps of those, right? Heaps of transactions like that. Pretty exciting. I'm really excited to see how the route performs during the PulseChain bull run. It's going to be incredible. I agree. All right, so that is some of the cool stuff there. So that was announced, and then of course they showed some of the first transactions there. 500,000 Pulse, 2,500 Pulse was the fee there. So all are there pumping the Peacock. There's another one there. Of course, we looked at that, which is kind of cool. Then we had 6 hours ago, Pulse routes between Ethereum and PulseChain are now live. So this was the official announcement. It was kind of the pre-announcement we read there. Enabling instant trading between assets on both networks will soon raise the maximum transaction size to 1 billion Pulse per swap with no daily limit. All fees collected will be used to add liquidity to Peacock, further strengthening the Peacock Pulse LP. And with Pulse down so low at the moment, this is the preferred strategy, is to build the LP up, right? You're buying up cheap Pulse, or at least you're accumulating cheap Pulse there. You got the Peacock, and you're just building up that liquidity, making it much more of a heavyweight protocol there, absorbing that pullback. We're talking about those kind of 40% pullbacks, absorbing those and cushioning them out, and then getting ready for the next move up, etc. So as all the meanwhile, while you're expanding your income product offering, and of course across chain as well as on chain. So it's pretty awesome. All fees collected will be used to add the Peacock, further strengthening the Peacock LPs, which is pretty cool. So let's have a quick look at what that means, what that looks like. So let's go to the site here. So if you're on LibertySwap.finance, you can see the Pulse has been added. Woohoo! So Pulse has been added there. So that's the new thing, right? So we already had the USDC. We already had USD Tether and DAI. Those were where they started with the stable coins. They added ETH here, and then they put the Peacock, right? So they put a whole ton of Peacock over on Ethereum and BNB. You got the contracts for those here, right? So you got the contracts there. Hit the old I button there. There we go. And then they also got the Peacock on the Pulse chain, right? So they set that up. I think it was quite a bit. I just can't remember. I think it was 25 million. I have in my mind, but I'd have to double check that. And then of course they've just added Pulse today. So we've got Pulse and we've got Wrap Pulse on Ethereum, right? So there is the Ethereum one there. There's the token contract address. Do not send funds to this address. Remember, somebody sent what was it, 555,000 or something tokens to the Peacock address or something. So they lost that Peacock forever. It's basically like a burn now. But it's a pretty, when there's only 1 billion tokens, 15.5% is burned already. That's a decent bit of supply there. So I think it was worth about $13,000. And like a Peacock, does become $1 billion meme coin, utility meme coin, that's a pretty big ouch, right? Pretty big ouch from here. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. So that's been added, kind of cool. I guess we go to liquidity. You'll probably be able to add liquidity, no doubt. We've got Pulse and Wrapped and Ethereum Pulse there, so people can add liquidity. Remember the fees though go to LibertySwap there to pump the system, build LP. So it would be a bit of a goodwill gesture if you were going to add, but that's what they're doing at the moment. We can see Peacock in there as well, the stables and ETH right now. So that is some of the big stuff there. The Pulse Peacock Dex, of course, is building its product line, building its expansion. Today, it says a pump pressure at the moment, only 2,000, so it's on the low side. That's because PulseChain's coming off the Sunday as well, and the volume there is cut in half there as well. So we'll be keeping a lookout on the buy pressure. It's going to move around wildly, but it should move around to the upside right over time, and at times quite strongly. So we're going to be keeping a lookout on that. Now we're expecting a lot more to be set up here, obviously with staking of Peacock coming along later on and earning of meme coins. That's going to drag a lot of capital once they're setting up the maturity of these pools. Not only people can bridge and swap, but then they're going to add the staking and the Peacock airdrops, and of course pump. Everything gets dragged up, generally speaking. I guess most of the meme coin they're going to offer will be ones that will be dragged up as with the Peacock, and that will drive capital in there, right? It's kind of the idea. Kind of cool. So we're looking for that's coming up in the roadmap, probably December. Probably December is roadmap. December. We love the roadmaps. Go LibertySwap. I love roadmaps. All right, so that is kind of where we are at that right now. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. All right, let's see what else they got in here. They have the first transactions. What else do they have? Feed the bird. Feed the bird. Time to feed the bird. What else we got there? Yay, we can now add liquidity on our coin on Ethereum using Pulse instead of ETH. How about that? Yeah, well done, Liberty. We can now add liquidity for our coin on Ethereum using Pulse instead of ETH. That could really help under certain trading conditions. Over time, traders will get very creative with how they find ways to make money, and that's what I'm excited about too. Oh, and buybacks will return as we see more Peacock and LPs across all markets. For now, we're strengthening it by adding more rocket fuel to the bird. So that's the strategy, guys, if you're thinking about the tactics, and they're going to balance that out. More tools, yeah, so some cool stuff there. The Peacock could send to $10 with the Trump $2,000 thing. Yeah, we've got lots of cool stuff. So that is from LibertySwap. Let's just scroll a little bit forward here. 5 hours ago, Peacock markets are holding up quite well during the correction. We'll maintain the same strategy of buying Pulse to pair with Peacock while prices are low. And boy, they're really being able to eat up a lot of cheap Pulse right now. Peacock remains the number one coin of the strongest liquidity paired with Pulse, obviously with most tokens sitting behind there, leaving them in the dust. They will be left in the dust because they don't have the advantage of having a big expanding business. So Peacock's, yeah, it's just on the move. All right, so what else we got going there? Yay, we can now add. I think we read that one there, didn't we? Now, this is the next step, guys. So if you're wanting the next step, this is the next step. Wookie is everywhere. We appreciate that, Wookie. You're a fuzzy creature from a galaxy far, far away. All right, so the next step coming up. So this was huge today with the Pulse and Wrapped Pulse on Ethereum. Next week, they're going to be adding a support for Wrapped Ethereum on PulseChain to Ethereum mainnet routes. This is a really big deal. A lot of people using ETH, right, want to come to PulseChain back and forward. This is a big money earner, right? So this is going to be big. Virtually instant trading as well, a few seconds, let's say. The ETH fees we've collected have been pulling up untouched. The ETH fees we've collected have been piling. Why did I say pulling? I knew something was wrong. The ETH fees we've collected have been piling up. They've been earning all these ETH fees, guys, and they're just piling up and they're untouched. It's like they've got their own little war chest, little treasuries. And we're now planning a strategy to use those ETH along with some stable coins on Ethereum mainnet to provide liquidity for Peacock. Well, we like that. So, and of course, the deflationary PDI routes will go live as well, kicking off the PDI burn. So, PDI's community needs some love. They need some love after the Mr. Prove or ProveX came out. Didn't look like they were going to get a lot of love there. So now they're going to get some love, and I think they're going to be pretty excited about that. PDI to one dollar, as they say. So yeah, we'll keep a lookout for that. And I'm sure the community, Decentralized Me, Somi, and all the rest of them will be very excited about that. Yeah. So yeah, kind of cool. What to say? We're school scheduled for 15th. Yes, we're working on it over weekends. Yeah. So much winning ahead, they say. So much winning ahead there. Decentralized Me, one of the big PDI bros, says expecting flows next week. Oh no. So yeah, I think so. I think it is going to get some excitement with that. PDI being burned off. I think it was there 44 billion is what's left. Pretty similar numbers to how much Hex is left, right? It was kind of interesting. I don't know. PHEX and EHEX, so and PDI all got pretty similar supply volumes. And obviously, different sinks within that volume, but yeah, it is what it is. So that's the play there on that. So we'll keep a lookout. That's for next week. Crypto Coffee's been pretty excited about the technology as well, ZKP and everything, which is kind of cool. Let me just jump through some of these. Scroll back up here. Now they did ask a question back here. Which option do you prefer, buying back Peacock or buy back Pulse and add 500k worth, around 18 billion Pulse to the Peacock LP at the current price? I'm not sure what people were saying about that. Perfect conditions for a massive pump are finally here. We like that. What did he say about that? It's time to get the government coming. Yeah, all the bullish things are coming for the old Peacock. Feed the bird. LFG. What does this comment say? A hybrid. I'm not sure what that's. Maybe a new token. Copter says, would you consider pulling LP, letting it run when the market heats up? I'll definitely be managing the LPs actively to defend Peacock's price. I'm monitoring it closely every few hours and ready to step in whenever needed. So obviously providing that cushion, with that 40% pullback or so. Obviously, PulseChain pulls back in US dollar prices as well, right? So it really is that ratio there. What does I say? What are the advantages, disadvantages of each option, in your opinion? Option one, this approach removes Peacock from the LPs, pushing the price up immediately. Con, it limits long-term upside potential and gives new buyers no chance to enter at a good price, while increasing LBS's Peacock holdings. If the market stays flat, the price appreciation won't be sustainable, and buyers might be exhausted quickly. Option two, the cons are it doesn't directly affect Peacock's price, keeping it mostly moving sideways. There's a risk that if a Pulse drops, Peacock could follow, and the LBS Peacock holdings would decrease. However, this option builds long-term strength for the coin. If Pulse rises, gives people more opportunities to accumulate, and rewards LP providers with high fees in Peacock and both Pulse if the sideways trend continues. Pulse really looks to be a strong accumulation zone. Well, it does indeed. It's been for some time, but that is pretty cool. So we got some good management there, LP management support, price support from the old Peacock there. It's a good outreach to the community. So I think that's almost what we had for everything. I think there's not much left in terms of today's update, at least at the moment for LibertySwap. No. So yeah, the next one is the 15th, next weekend. PDI and Wrapped ETH. And I particularly think Wrapped ETH is going to be particularly popular, particularly used a lot there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All right, so that is LibertySwap on the moves. And the other big thing that we had, of course, a lot of people ask about portfolio trackers, and there are quite a few out there. But PulseChain Stats, which is our latest big stat site, they have just launched it. They said, finally here, the wait is finally over for PulseChain. Multi-wallet portfolio is now live. So this is really huge. A lot of people asking for this, right? They ask me, and I go, well, we've got these options. You go test them out. Add your wallets to view your full aggregated portfolio on PulseChain. You can save your wallets. This is local on your browser, not saved on our server side or database at all. So you're not getting tracked by the platform that you're using. So it is just for you. We now also have portfolio URLs sharing for single and multi-wallet wallets to share. To easily share portfolios with others if you so choose. Multi-wallet works for all DeFi positions. The first on PulseChain to cover everything. No more using 10 sites to view your portfolio. So this is kind of what people have been after, right? We have it all in one place. List of everything we support. 2,000 plus tokens of PulseX V1 and V2, 9mm, Fame leverage positions as well. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Fame leverage. Now, we haven't been on Fame for some time. Remember, that's a GMX fork. It's one of our two, or at least one of the two leverage platforms that I'm aware of. The other one, of course, is the recent one launched from Nexium Glow, which is 10x leverage on potentially any protocol. So we've got two kind of margin trading or perpetuals. Fame leverage positions here: liquid loans, vaults, stability pools, and staking. So you've got your liquidity forks and stability pools and staking. Flex positions as well. Earn protocol positions, ink printer positions, fiat positions. So fiat, of course, is a fork of Aave. P-Hux there, a fork of Balancer, the P-Hux there. ALGO staking, a Hex derivative. Acosa staking there, I guess loosely related to Hex T-shares or directly related. They're mathematically tied. A Balancer fork V3. We've got Pulp Farms as well, Pulse Ink Farms, 9-inch, Hex stakes, Pump Tire tokens, and NFTs. So pretty damn comprehensive, wouldn't you say? And so, well done to the team. It's also got a wallet intel and token intel now have portfolio integrated too. You can easily hit the portfolio button to load the wallets from the intels. If you are not already, you should be using PulseChain's best website. Of course, that's the site there with the wallet, which we are on, right? So we go to portfolio, and that is the portfolio. You can add your address in, you can load your portfolio, and it's only local, right? So it's not going to be held. You also can break it down by pump tires, DeFi positions. You've got lending protocols, stability, pools, staking positions, trading positions. That's pretty impressive, right? So liquidity positions there, Hex stakes, PulseChain, Ethereum, transaction history. Hopefully the transaction history is fast, and I'm sure it will be, and accurate. That'd be really cool. And then NFTs. Now, we know NFTs have struggled. As you guys know, it's pretty much the only influencer covering the NFT platforms when they launched and the NFT protocols. There's probably about 7 NFT platforms, and I think only about 1 or 2 of them are still doing decent volume. We did see Gerardo talk about Mintra the other day, potentially hanging it over the community, and some of the challenges that he had within the team and other things like that. But he's still been here building and all the rest of the good things he's been doing. So that's kind of Gerardo. We had a few early on. We had quite a few NFT projects launched. I had a couple of interviews with some of them. 1 or 2 people ended up being bad apples. And just people, good people and not good people out there. And so you've got NFTs in the house here, and I do think NFTs will be the last thing probably to move, with a few exceptions. We'll probably have 1 or 2 exceptions there. The other thing, of course, is we've also got 721s and 1155 contracts, and then we've got the 404s as well. 404s, that swap between PRC20s and I guess 721s. I think is the alternative there. So we've got a lot of options in that space, and I think that we will see this happen later once people are wealthy. Once we have a PulseChain run and everyone's getting pretty wealthy, then NFTs will become something that people want to spend on, a bit like going to the lolly shop when you got a bit of money as a kid. Hey, look, mum gave me $2. Let's go down the lolly shop. Yeah, let's go. Let's pick up some NFTs. All right, so it's a bit like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm making up a lot of fun stuff today. Wookie is everywhere. That's right, you are. All right, so that is from the portfolio. I'll post that in the chat there. But well done to the PulseChain stats team. They're definitely providing a lot of useful tools and information on their site. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. PulseChainStats.com. And that is the link right there, PulseChainStats.com/portfolio in this case. And man, it looks pretty comprehensive. Looks pretty damn comprehensive. And what people have been waiting for. Now, there are many other, portfolio trackers out there. They have different, I guess, benefits and views and things. But this looks to be pretty comprehensive, which is what a lot of people have been after. So nice. I think that's it. All right, so kind of cool. Now, I did want to do one thing before we finish. We're at 54 minutes, so I've got 4 minutes left because I was only going to do an hour today because I've got to help somebody else do some other stuff. So let's go quickly back to Deck Screener, and I just want to have a look at one more thing. So we're going to go to Peacock quickly. I just want to look at the Peacock ratio to see how that's performing because I was supposed to do it before. So yeah, we're at 580 pulse per 1 Peacock right now. It had a high in the last couple of hours, I guess, on the news of the launch. Yeah, it pumped a little bit on the launch there, and it got to 610. So it's pretty interesting. So yeah, we're kind of getting in a longer consolidation phase here. So probably be a pretty good place for in this zone somewhere for it to start tracking up, especially with these new revenue expansions, which are going to be significant, I think, and they all add up to each other, right? So it's kind of cool. We'll keep a track on that one, but some good stuff happening there. I'm not sure if Richard Hart's got any updates. Let's quickly check him. I know Rack and Michelle didn't have any updates for Coinwell, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, like I say, Shillgate's won the $10,000 logo, so congratulations again to him. I think he's picking up some peacock with that, like I said earlier. We had some cool winners. The Amish Kid won some prizes. The Hemp Hex, a few winners there as well. Yeah, so some good stuff happening there. All right, I think that's it. And you just never know, guys. We might get one of these at some stage. Maybe December. Maybe December. What do you guys reckon? Maybe we should do a poll. I would try to do a poll on X, but they don't seem to work anymore. But we might get one of these, eh?
You know, you could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
All right, so that's pretty much it for today's coverage, guys. So yeah, we got not too bad for a Sunday. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum on the up. We got PulseChain slightly up. Can we get a bit of a rally this week? Get positive news out of Supreme Court, hopefully, around tariffs. We're into November, right? We definitely want to, have the government shutdown in, the tariffs to go to Trump's favor. The $2,000 check will be in play then. And also 19th of November, we got the NVIDIA results. We need those are positive for the whole AI story. And then, of course, December the 10th, there we've got the interest rate cuts and quantitative going from neutral, hopefully, to quantitative easing. And then it's just absolutely game on, right? So I don't think there's too much holding us back after that. And then we'll probably on the upside, probably see some further crypto policy and support with the monetary system from the White House, which would be mega huge for crypto. And the markets will love that, especially if we see a system-wide monetary system change in favor of crypto, as well as any particular specialized buying from the US government through whatever means, different budget neutral means, etc. So we'll keep a lookout for that. So there's quite a lot of upsides there. And then, of course, strategic ETH reserves, expecting that to for them to start ramping up again. Obviously, Bitmine's been pretty consistent, but getting the other ones also probably trying to arrange funds for that too, is the case. So not bad. All right, so bring it on altcoin season. We saw the Bitcoin there dominance testing that 50-week average. So hopefully we'll get that. Bitcoin dominance will fall, and we'll get altcoin season running up there. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.